Hello there everyone, I am Doomcard, and I'm here to present patch notes for League of Legends patch 11.19. So let's get started. Here's an overview of the patch. What I plan to do with this is to go through these highlights, go in depth on every little one of them, give my own personal opinion, and try and provide a little bit of oversight on it. Just so that way, instead of having to read it, you can just listen to it or watch it. Alright. So first we have a new champion coming out this patch. Her name is Vex and she is cringe. She's going to be fine. I have not much information on her currently. She has not been released yet and I have not seen much PvE footage, so for references and such I will be making a video this weekend to have a full detail on her. Hopefully give good information on runes and such as well. Overall though, from any of the prerequisite footage that they showed of her having many fears and such involving dashes, she looks kind of tame. Like, having all those fears is great and all, but it will not really make a big difference, I feel, compared to having the revives and the hook shots of Akshan or the control over the enemy like Viego. But we will see. Alright, so now let's get into nerfs. I wanted to separate them by the different tiers that Riot uses. So let's start with skilled play, which is Platinum to Diamond 3. So let's start with Sona. Sona got armor nerf, and then 3 different bug fixes. One bug fix lowered her damage from her passive. One bug fix made it so she can't target enemies that are invisible with her Q. And one bug fix made her E not a true slow. True slow means that it slows people even with slow immunity, like Master Yi or Olaf, when they're ulting. Overall, I think these nerfs are fine. Having -2 base armor is going to make her nice and squishy early for many ADCs to just run her down like Draven. The lower damage later on is going to make her less of a destructive threat later in the game, towards end. And the other bug fixes just needed to happen. So, good champ. Soraka's getting less healing on her ult. Her buff from the last patch where she got major amounts of grievous wounds removal on her ult was a bit too much apparently. I don't think she needed the nerf personally. I think she's still good. Obviously, I think she'll be fine from this. It's minor. Just 20 health. It'll be fine. Alright, now pro play nerfs. This entire patch was meant for pro play, so we're going to have more pro play nerfs than skilled nerfs. First is Kennen. Kennen loses some damage on his Q. I don't think I've seen Kennen in solo queue ever, at least in the past year, and that's going to continue to go that way. This champion's still going to be unseen. It will probably still be played a bit in pro, but not as much. I imagine it's going to get played in play-ins, be seen bad, and then just fall off. Rise. His AP ratio on his Q got nerfed from 45 to 40%, and then his E cooldown increased. This is big because that is a quarter second extra that he can't do an EQ combo to one-shot a wave. Overall though, I don't see it taking him out of pro play. He's still going to be played in pro because of his ult having such utility. It's pretty good. Varus. Varus is getting a Q cooldown increase. It will be going from 10 seconds late game to 12 seconds, or level 9 mid game. Overall, he will be still threat. He'll still one-shot everyone with his Q off screen, but he will be pretty good. He will be hopefully nerfed down enough that he will not be the only ADC to be pick or ban the entire region of worlds. Buffs. Alright, so we have 15 champions getting buffs, so let's just get through them all pretty quickly. Aatrox, he got a W cooldown increase. That's nice, I guess. Him being able to do his pull towards everyone back towards the center point again more often. It's just, that will probably not even really affect him. That's not an important part of his kit, to be honest, outside of getting a really good third Q combo. He'll be alright. Akali's getting some base regen increases. both her health regen and her base health regen growth. The regen growth is going to be very nice later on, and the base health regen will help her be a little bit better in like top lane. Mostly these were to make up for the fact that fleet footwork was nerfed. But overall, it will probably just keep her same as usual, maybe a little bit better. But I don't see it being a massive improvement compared to, say, having more damage on her Q, or a shorter or a lower Q cost. Next, Cho'Gath. His Q cooldown is reduced from 7 to 6 seconds. 1 second off of that? Oh, that's very good actually. Having more Qs, very nice. I think that'll be very helpful for Cho'Gath. Fizz. Fizz, he's going to get all of the reverts from last patch. His passive no longer is going to be additional help on his versus auto attacks. His W's not going to be doing as much on hit damage, and his ultimate's going to be doing a ton more damage again. So he can go back to one comboing you at level 6. But they went ahead and buffed him still to give him a little bit more power. They reduced the cooldown on his E, which is the most annoying part of his kit, so great to see that. I hope he has fun. He's going to be flipping around all day, all night. Alright, Galio. Galio's cooldown decreases with rank now. Now it's going from just being 18 seconds at all times to 18 to 16 seconds. Overall, it's minor, helping probably a little bit. I imagine that's one of the abilities he ranks last, because that's his big taunt circle. But it's nice. It's a nice little buff. He still played already, so I don't even think he needed a buff, but it's really cool to give him a little bit more. Gragas. Gragas gets a WAP ratio increase from 60 to 70%. Overall, pretty helpful towards an AP Gragas that will just blast you down with the W after he hits you with the full combo of his E, Ult, Q. Alright, Gwen. Gwen's getting a base health regen increase. This should help her top lane because regen is so important in that lane. Top lane is the sustain lane after all. Mordekaiser. E cooldown reduced early, so instead of 22 seconds at level 2 when you pick it up, or level 3 when you pick it up, it's now 18 seconds. It will be pretty helpful for him, I would say, because being able to pull people in, then auto them, Q them, so that we can get your passive started seems very beneficial, having more opportune trade windows. Poppy. Her passive cooldown decreased. Now at level 1 it's 3 seconds shorter, at level 7 it's 2 seconds shorter, and at level 13 it's 1 second shorter. Overall, this, just like Mordekaiser, is going to help out her laning phase heavily. And I think it will lead to her being a more favorable champion picked in Pro. Maybe not as a top laner, but maybe as a support. Alright, Kiana buffs. Because she got ruined the last patch. Now this patch, her EQ combo is now going to be undodgeable when it's done in her attack range. Now, instead of it always missing, you'll be able to hit it when it's really close, which is nice. It'll make it a more consistent combo. And also, her Q damage against monsters increased because Kiana's only seen play as a jungler in Pro, so they think maybe they should put her in jungle. I think it's fine. I don't think she's going to be the jungler that's played. I see it more likely to be Zed. Zed seems more like a jungler there. Renekton. Renekton's getting a few buffs here because, by gosh, did last patch hurt him. He gets a base health increase, base health growth increase, so he's going to be a little bit better in terms of tankiness. His empowered W animations and self-lockout are going to be decreased and increased inversely. So he'll be able to take people down with his W and not take himself down as well by just having a longer stun than the enemy. Overall, I think these buffs are fine. I don't know if he'll leave pro play. I think these buffs might put him back in pro play again. But it's cool. Renekton's a cool crocodile. Sejuani. Sejuani's getting her Q cooldown reduced and her Q damage increased. So at level 1, it's gaining 10 damage and losing 2 seconds of cooldown. And that increases pretty heavily damage. Well, it actually doesn't increase much damage, only 10. It'll be fine. She'll be good. Seraphine, her R cooldown decreased 20 seconds on all ranks, which is pretty good for her, honestly. I've played Seraphine a fair amount, and I think having a shorter ult cooldown will help her be able to use it every fight rather than almost every other fight in early to mid game. Scion, his shield is increasing by 10. It'll actually help a fair amount. Being able to have enough health so that way you can maybe get off the W explosion be pretty helpful. Overall, I like that buff. Silas, base mana increases by 30 with the mana regen increasing as well, which would be really nice for Silas. Silas has mana problems. Silas has problems for others with all of his healing and such, but he is pretty good at blasting people down but losing his entire mana bar in the process, and this will remove that problem. Well, not remove it, but will help a lot. Alright, now we're going to get into the skins. There were 8 skins that are going to be released with this patch, and I just want to give my thoughts on them very quickly as they were at the end. Alright, first, the World's 2021 J4 skin. Jarvan IV in silver armor with blue dragon fire in them. Gosh, do I not like J4 skins, but this looks okay. Now we're also getting into Dawnbringer versus Nightbringer. So Vex, her first skin, is going to be a Dawnbringer skin. Overall, I think it looks really nice. Shadow is a nice shade of red. Morgana looks great as always. Always a great champion with their colors and such. Yone looks very interesting. I figured that they would, when I first saw the photo, I thought they might have played into Dawnbringer and Nightbringer, and it looks like they're doing so with the swords at least. But overall, I feel like they could have played a little bit heavier with the Nightbringer aspect of Yone. Now going into Nightbringers, we have Tryndamere, who looks as monstrous as he does in all of his skins. Also, I like the Vel'Koz belt buckle. Real nice, real nice. Nightbringer Lilia. So, I have a little bit of information on the skin. It doesn't change the voice, which is a little bit weird. She has all these cute little eeps sounds when she's playing with like normal Lilia. But this one seems like the one that goes evil and just says P, and it doesn't really work here for Nightbringer. Alright, now Nightbringer Kayn is going to be an issue. So Nightbringer Kayn overall looks like a great skin, but my issue is Dawnbringer is Rost, and Rost is a big part of just being a red creature usually. Everybody knows him as Red Kayn. Meanwhile, the Shadow Assassin is Blue Kayn. This time it's flipped, and now everybody's going to get mixed up. This is a pay-to-win skin, basically. Overall, if you are a Kayn player and want to win, this might be the skin for you, because you're going to confuse everybody on what to do against you. But not only that, you get a Prestige Edition, which adds gold to everything as well, making it more confusing. So overall, this might be just a top-notch skin. I think this might be a skin that might win you games on its own. Alright. And overall, that's the end of our presentation. Thank you all for watching. If you like the comment, subscribe. If there's anything I can do to improve this, let me know. Thank you all for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. See you.